Hello, I'm Sarah Wilshaw-Sparks from Professionelle, and in this short video I'd like to share with you some of the great tips and ideas that were contributed by women who attended a networking seminar that we ran on the subject of working and winning in a male-dominated environment. If you'd like to attend one of our networking seminars, just visit our website at www.professionelle.co.nz, go to the top right of the screen to the Events and Workshops tab, and you'll find information about all the sessions that we've got scheduled. And if one of them suits your diary, you can book online straight away and confirm your place. But back to the tips from the session on working and winning in a male-dominated environment. We had quite a lively discussion around the tables on this topic, as you can imagine. And one of the tables discussed the issue of how do you say no, because that's really an important skill for setting boundaries in these workplaces. And they had three ideas. The first was pick your battles. You don't want to say no to everything, but you do want to say no to things that are going to drain the time and the energy away from you that you need to get your own jobs done and done well. Another idea was be consistent. If you say no to Jack if he asks for something, you need to say no to Jill when she asks for the same thing. It's a matter of not playing favourites. And lastly, another way to say no is to clarify priorities. If there's simply too much on your plate, push back and find out which the important jobs are. Another table discussed how do you back yourself? How do you stop that second-guessing process that we can sometimes fall into? And their practical suggestion was around really preparing well for meetings. Think ahead of time about the issues and the objections that might crop up, the tactics that you can take, the sort of responses that you'll get. The more prepared you are for the meeting, the more confident you're going to feel going into it. And confidence was a theme that came up a number of times at the session. Another table discussed how you can simply sound more confident even if you don't actually feel it. And they suggested that what you need to do is to remove modifiers from your sentences. So that's the words like a bit, I think, maybe, perhaps. If you cut those out of your speech, you're immediately going to sound more forceful and more confident. And another tip they had was a more physical one. You know how it can sometimes be quite hard to cut into a conversation, especially in a room full of men? If you can sit yourself directly opposite the chair of the meeting, you've got line of sight, and that makes it easier to cut in and to make your voice heard. We also asked, what's your best advice for succeeding in these environments? And what we heard was, you do want to set boundaries and you need to be prepared to push back. And it can be in the little things, really, like, why is it always the women's desks to which the after-hours phones are redirected? It doesn't need to be. And it comes to that issue of saying no as well. Should it always fall to the women to pour the coffee? That really needs to be a matter of seniority, not gender. Or if you're in a team environment, of explicitly sharing that task around the team. They also suggested that it's really powerful, if you can, to get a mentor in the organisation who can help you navigate the environment and read the politics and the subtexts that are flowing all around you. And let me leave you with two final thoughts. One woman very thoughtfully said, you know, you should leave the workplace a better place than you found it. That's the important thing. And as a practical suggestion, she offered that if you are working with a team and there's a young man and a young woman on it, see if you can mentor the young woman, because her career is really going to benefit from it. And the natural opportunities for her to find a mentor in a male-dominated environment are that much less. And that leads to the final thought, and it's a quote that we think comes from Madeleine Albright. It's, there's a special place in hell reserved for women who don't help other women. And we know sometimes you can feel a little bit uncomfortable with that concept, that it's tilting the playing field too far towards women. But hey, men help each other all the time.